Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Even though he's facing a lawsuit over his Comedians in Cars series, Jerry Seinfeld isn't bothered. The star is celebrating the upcoming 10th season of the Netflix series. June 28 at New York, Reverenger Engines, comedy fans. Jerry Seinfeld is hitting the road again. The TV legend is back behind the wheel for a 10th season of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, streaming on Netflix Friday. The show, which moves from Sony Crackle, centers on lively conversations between Seinfeld and fellow comedians as they drive around in classic vehicles and stop for cups of java. The new batch of 12 episodes, which range from 15 to 20 minutes, features a star-studded guest roster including Dave Chappelle, John Mulaney, Alec Baldwin, and Tracy Morgan. Seinfeld, 64, chats with USA Today about his favorite guests, politics and why he won't have President Donald Trump on the show. Question: who were you most excited to invite on the show this season? Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Lewis, who was an idol of mine from childhood. Kate McKinnon, who I'm kind of obsessed with, because she's an incredibly talented person. Zach Galifianakis and I collided. We took his show, Between Two Ferns, and my show and crashed them together, so that was really fun. It was like the Munsters go visit the Addams Family. Which make better guests, good friends, or comedians you're less familiar with but get to know? Seinfeld. They're both good. I had Ellen DeGeneres, who I knew in the early 80s and hadn't seen in many years, so it was great to see her again. It's fun to see somebody that you knew from the early knockaround days and go, hey, congratulations. You made it. Photo courtesy of Netflix. Who's on your wish list? Seinfeld. I really want to have Jamie Foxx on the show next season. I'm a huge fan of his. He started as a stand-up. I bumped into him at this event the other night and was reminded of how incredibly funny he is. He does so many other things that you forget he's really a comic. You've said many times that you don't like getting political in your comedy. Seinfeld. I'm not good at it. And I don't like we agree applause. As a comedian, I don't think that's fun to get. I like it when people just laugh. Who do you think does smart political humor now? Seinfeld. I was watching Michelle Wolf's new show Netflix's The Break yesterday. She was breaking down conversations from some of the political shows, and I liked that. It's kind of like diagramming a sentence from school. I like when comedians break things down. They go, here's the way it was presented to you. Now let's take this watch apart. What did you make of the reaction to her set at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in April? Seinfeld. It seemed like the reaction she was going for. But comedians now seem to have other targets. Back in my day, all we wanted was to be funny. Now people want to be funny, but they want to be other things, too. A few years ago, you called Trump God's gift to comedy. Do you still agree? Seinfeld. Absolutely, there's so much material. Can you imagine how bad SNL would be without Trump? It's so much more fun now. Would you ever invite him on your show? Seinfeld. You have to be a comedian to be on my show. You can't be someone who's made fun of, you actually have to be funny yourself. So far, we haven't really seen that, but we're watching closely. You got to show up at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and do a funny monologue. That's how President Barack Obama got on the show. Remember his monologues at the correspondents' dinners? Very funny stuff. What are you watching right now? Seinfeld. I watch a lot of baseball and old stand-up comics on YouTube. Rodney